Welcome to the Voice of Autism Resource Hub. We are dedicated to supporting parents who are new to or feeling overwhelmed by the journey of raising a child with autism spectrum disorder, ASD. Today, we're exploring an innovative topic, the concept of a school without walls for autistic students. A proposed digital school designed to deliver its full curriculum and support services entirely online.
Okay, so what if school wasn't this place of just overwhelming noise and confusing rules? What if instead it was a sanctuary, a place actually designed for your brain? That's what we're digging into today. This really radical idea for a virtual school, built from the ground up for autistic students who, let's be honest, are often being completely failed by the traditional system.
And this quote, it really sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about. The whole argument here is that the problem isn't the child. It's not about their ability to learn. It's the system, the environment itself that's broken.
So, to really get why we even need a new model, we have to first understand what's going wrong with the old one. Let's break down exactly why the current system just doesn't work for so many students.
And look, we're not just talking about finding math class difficult, right? This is something much deeper. It's a fundamental mismatch. For a lot of autistic students, school is basically a hostile environment. Imagine the sheer amount of energy it takes, day in and day out, just to navigate a world that wasn't built for your brain. It's absolutely exhausting. This mismatch really boils down to two huge barriers. You can think of them like apps running in the background, just constantly draining a student's mental battery. And by the time they get to actual learning, there's just not much power left. First up, you've got this sensory assault. I mean, just try to imagine, your brain can't filter stuff out. The flickering fluorescent lights are like a constant strobe party you didn't ask for. Those unpredictable school bells, they're like jump scares. And a crowded hallway, that's not just noise, it can feel like a physical threat. It's a complete overload. And then, on top of all that, there's the social gauntlet. School basically turns into this high-stakes social game where you don't know the rules. You're constantly trying to decode what people really mean, and you're terrified of saying or doing the wrong thing. The fear of being judged or misunderstood, it's just immense. And this isn't just theoretical. It has a huge, measurable impact. The data shows that only 26% of autistic kids say they feel happy at school. I mean, let that sink in for a second. That means nearly 3 out of 4 are unhappy in the place they're supposed to go to learn and grow every single day. That's staggering. So when you hear about something called school refusal, a kid just not wanting to go to school, it's so easy to label it as a behavior problem, right? As defiance. But what if we're looking at it all wrong? What if it's not defiance at all, but self-preservation? It's a completely logical response to an environment that feels, to them, intolerable. Okay, so if the environment is the real problem here, what if we could just build a new one from scratch? And that's exactly where this idea of the digital sanctuary comes in. It's a whole new blueprint for learning. This whole concept is built on 3 main pillars. You've got a hybrid curriculum, a 24/7 AI tutor, and a personal digital library. The goal here is to weave these together to create this learning ecosystem that's safe, super engaging, and maybe most importantly, completely personalized. And when you put them side by side, the difference is just night and day, right? You go from a sensory environment that's totally overwhelming to one that's completely user-controlled. You swap out that high-anxiety social scene for structured, predictable interactions, and you trade a rigid one-size-fits-all curriculum for one that's flexible and built around what the student actually loves. It's a total flip of the script. And this is where it gets really brilliant, in my opinion. It takes what's often called a special interest, something that might be seen as a distraction in a normal classroom, and turns it into the very engine of learning. So that kid who's obsessed with trains, instead of telling them to stop thinking about trains, you teach them physics through train collisions or history through the Transcontinental Railroad. Learning isn't a chore anymore. It's just a deeper dive into what they already love. Now, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But it's not that simple. There are some really big risks here. The idea of a perfect sanctuary could, ironically, become a kind of gilded cage. And that brings us to the core dilemma, the big question mark hanging over this whole thing.
If you create this perfect, predictable world for a student to learn in, are you accidentally failing to prepare them for the imperfect, unpredictable real world? Does a sanctuary become a bubble?
To its credit, the proposal doesn't ignore these problems. It lays out 4 major hurdles we have to think about: social isolation, the generalization gap, that's a big one, the burden on parents, and a whole bunch of ethical minefields. You've got to tackle these head-on, or the whole thing is just a nice idea that doesn't work in reality.
So, what's the path forward? Well, the point isn't to just throw the whole idea out because it's risky. The point is to be smart about it, to build a model that anticipates these problems and has solutions baked in from the get-go.
And the verdict seems to be that this is a powerful tool, but it's not a cure-all. The future here probably isn't a 100% online school. It's more likely a hybrid model, something that's digital first, using all these amazing tools for learning, but also intentionally building bridges back to the real physical world. And this is what that actually looks like. For every challenge, there's a proposed solution. Worried about social isolation? You build in mandatory, small group meetups in the real world. That generalization gap? You use community projects and internships to connect learning to life. The burden on parents? You give them real support, coaches, tech help, the whole 9 yards. And for the AI ethics piece, you always have a human teacher in the loop. It's about checks and balances. Which leaves us with this one big final thought to chew on. As AI gets more and more powerful, we're going to be able to create these incredibly personalized educational worlds. The tech isn't the hard part anymore. The real challenge, the thing we all need to figure out, is how to make sure these amazing tools build bridges to the real world instead of walls that shut it out.
Therapy quiz. Question 1. According to the analysis, what is the central paradox of creating a perfectly controlled and predictable digital learning environment for autistic students? A. It can be prohibitively expensive to develop and maintain, limiting access to only wealthy families. B. It places an excessive burden on teachers to create personalized content, leading to professional burnout. C. The environment that provides immediate comfort and safety may fail to prepare students for the uncontrolled, unpredictable real world. D. It risks becoming technologically obsolete as AI advancements accelerate faster than curriculum development. Question 2. What is the primary function of the personalized digital library in the proposed virtual school model? A. To replace the AI tutor by providing pre-recorded lessons from special education teachers. B. To connect core curriculum concepts to a student's special interests using a variety of multimedia resources. C. To provide a social platform where students can share their digital projects with one another. D. To serve as a secure archive for student grades and official academic records for accreditation. Question 3. The sources describe traditional schools as a systematically incompatible environment for many autistic students. What is a key reason cited for this incompatibility? A. The lack of advanced technology like AI tutors in mainstream classrooms. B. A primary focus on vocational skills over core academic subjects like math and science. C. The inability of students to form any social relationships with their neurotypical peers. D. Constant sensory overload from elements like fluorescent lighting, loud noises, and crowded hallways.
Announcement. First course for special education teachers / specialized tutors / parents / interventionists who want to understand the 40H model, plus 100 combos of evidence-based interventions from EBI/EBP, starting from 1/11/2025. Online and free. Online and free. Learners who know English, Japanese, Korean, please notify in advance. Subscribe to the channel to receive the link to the course link.
This presentation was produced by NBAI, AI for Autism, and Job for Autism with Mr. Duong Lam as executive producer. Thank you for your attention. We encourage you to share this resource with others who may find it valuable. Please subscribe for notifications on our future videos. For more information or further inquiries, feel free to contact us at leduonglam58@gmail.com.